Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah. So in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about my personal scoliosis story and how I kind of discovered that I had it, what I've gone through to help treat it, and where I'm kind of at now with it. So when I was about 13 years old, my chest bone was sticking out, and we randomly noticed it one day, and my mom pointed it out to me, and so we didn't really know what that meant. We did some research, thought it could be multiple different things, never thought about it being scoliosis. I didn't have any pain at that point, but one day I was at my chiropractor and I was having a treatment done, and they were evaluating my back, and my chiropractor noticed that my shoulder blades were a little uneven. So one was higher than the other, so she asked if I would get an x-ray just to kind of see what was going on. She mentioned that it could be scoliosis and that it was common in girls my age to start developing it. So we did an x-ray and it did show that I had scoliosis. It showed that I had about a 32 to 33 degree curve, and so she recommended doing a back brace. Well, the back brace she recommended was spine core, and I'll link it down below in the comments so y'all can check it out. It's more of a dynamic functional brace, so it's not a hard brace. It's a Velcro one, and I would wear shorts with it, and then the Velcro would attach to the shorts. So I'm going to show you, this is a picture of it, and it connects to those shorts that you wear, and my chiropractor just readjusted it every time that I went. So this process started when I was about 14, because it took about a year to kind of figure out what was going on, and so I would every few months go back and get it readjusted. It was uncomfortable. It definitely wasn't as uncomfortable as a hard brace. I'm sure I never had to wear one of those. But with this, it was just very bulky in the kind of in the stomach area, so I had to wear big t-shirts and track shorts usually to kind of cover it so no one could tell. So during the summer and being a young girl, that was difficult because you want to be able to wear what your friends are wearing and do what they're doing. So in that moment in my life, that was a big issue for me, and it was hard to go through. It was also just very uncomfortable, and I had to wear it 20 hours a day, only could have 4 hours rest. So I would take it off pretty much to shower and just to kind of get a breather, and then I'd have to put it back on. So I even wore it at bedtime, and that was really the most uncomfortable time to wear it. I would go back to the chiropractor every 3 to 6 months at first to get it checked and repositioned. She said that I would wear it until my growth plates closed, so once those closed, it wouldn't be as efficient or helpful because you can't really reposition your bones at that time. You can keep on doing things to try to help it, but it's not going to make as much of an impact. So the goal was to wear it as long as I could until my growth plates closed to see if it made much of a difference. So I wore it for about 2 years, and then towards the end of that 2 years, my chiropractor told me that I should come back and get it checked and that I should be done, my growth plate should be closed. But that process kind of went on for 6 more months, and it was every 2 months I would get my hopes up, and then I'd have to wear it a little bit longer. And I knew it was for my good, but being young and not wanting to have to wear a brace and to be able to be a part of things without being uncomfortable, it was kind of a disappointment. So when I was about 16, my growth plates had finally closed, and I was finally able to get out of the brace, which was super exciting for me. I was thrilled. And my curve, it had changed a little bit, had gotten better about 3 to 5 degrees, not much, but I think the biggest thing that it helped was to just prevent it from getting worse. It did help slightly, but overall it just stopped me from progressing and my curve getting more of a degree. So that was the big plus for that. Throughout that time too, I started when I was 13 going to a massage therapist, and she was very good at working with people who had scoliosis and other back and neck issues. So she was very good at helping kind of loosen my tight muscles and try to realign me too, and I think that is one of the biggest things that helped me. So I first started going twice a week when I was 13, and that happened for a few years. And then as I got older, we kind of tried to wean it off and do once a week and then once every other week. Then once I got older and got into college, I wasn't able to go very often because college wasn't close to that therapist, and I had tried other massage therapists, but they just didn't know my back and they just weren't able to help me like she was. So I only went maybe once every few months, and I could tell a huge difference. So with that, that's when I really decided that I had to start doing something else that I could do personally without having to go to a therapist or anything to help my pain and help try to decrease any more curvature. That's when I started doing my core workout, started working out more. I researched some of the things that would help and really make a difference and things that were safe to try with it. So that's some of the core workouts I've shown in some of my other videos, and I'll link some of those in this video. You should check. So starting my core workouts and being more fit and active really made a huge difference in my back. I still had pain somewhat because in school I was stressed out a lot with all the tests and stuff I had to go through. So I would feel that pain, but I could definitely tell the difference if I wasn't consistent with my workouts, and that was a lot of the time because I was pretty busy. But now that I have been out of school, I have been a lot more consistent and I have seen a huge difference. I've also started massage therapy back again consistently, and I can already tell that it is making a difference. So a big part of my journey as I was growing up, it is hard when you have something that is noticeably different about your body. So with people who have scoliosis, not everyone will be affected this way, but a lot of them I feel like will sometimes have insecurities about how you look if you have noticeable ribs that stick out more on one side, or your back ribs sticking out more, or one shoulder taller than the other. And so when I was younger, that really did affect me in a big way for a while, because people would point it out, and they weren't pointing it out in a mean way. They would just kind of ask about it, but inside that made me feel like it was super noticeable, and that and I just was very insecure about it. So I just kind of had to realize that this is who I am, this is my body, and sometimes it still bothers me, but not as much, because I've realized that I can't change that about myself, and people don't really notice it as much as you notice it about yourself. So for me, a big thing that I kind of worked on for a while when I was younger was trying to figure out how I could cover what I look like and not wear clothes that really showed off my ribs or whatever, because I do have one rib on my left side that sticks out a lot further than my right side. So when I would lay out with my friends in the sun or wearing tight clothes or bathing suits or anything like that, you could tell my ribs stuck out noticeably more than the other one. That used to bother me a lot. So I really tried to cover it up and just kind of avoid people seeing it, so I didn't have to have any comments made about it. But now I have just realize that it is what it is. It's not a big deal to be a little bit different. You just have to kind of embrace your body and realize that it is okay, and be confident in who you are. And that's something that's a struggle, I'm sure, for a lot of people, because it has been for me. So if you do struggle with something like that, just know that you aren't alone. And so since I caught my scoliosis at a younger age, I think it made a huge difference in my curvature not progressing to the extent that I needed surgery. So if you feel like you may have symptoms and you are just not sure what it might be, I would definitely go get it checked out at your doctor or your chiropractor, whoever you go to, just to see if that isn't something that might be the case for you. And the sooner you get it figured out, the better. This is a picture of my curvature, and at this point it was after my brace was done, and it's what it is now. It's about 30 degrees, I believe. I don't remember the exact number. This has been a few years ago, but this is what it looks like now. That is pretty much my story. I have been going through it for 10 years now, and I finally figured out what works best for me. I do stretches, core workouts specifically to help with it, and massage still. I will link some of my other videos in this video. You should check them out if you experience any of this and see if they help you. They're all scoliosis friendly exercises and some follow along workouts, also some stretching videos. So if y'all have any other questions though about my journey and want to know more about me or what I do, leave them in the comments below. And if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I post a new video. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I will see y'all next week. Thanks.